So these are the top reasons to buy the iPhone SE 4 in 2025. So we have a new refreshed iPhone SE lineup. We do not have those big bezels on top and the bottom and the home button. This is a new design that fits right into today's 2025 standards. So the first thing that we notice is going to be the notch at the top. We do not have the home button anymore. We do not have the top bezels or the bottom bezels. So definitely this is the big change from the iPhone SE from before. That model was from like 11 years ago, starting with the iPhone 6. And now we get a bigger device, bigger screen, less bezels. So that's really nice. Next, the next best thing that we get is that we're going to get iOS 18, and like every other iPhone, we're going to get several years of updates. So once you get this device, this is going to be the phone that you're going to use for several years, and you'll get the same exact software as the iPhone Pros of today. Just like the iPhone 16 Pro, you're getting a really good, newer, faster chipset, the Apple 18, and this will run all of your apps with no problem. It'll be nice and fast phone for years to come. Along with the chipset, we're also getting 8 gigs of RAM, which will run Apple Intelligence. Now that is very important because now every phone you get from Apple today in 2025 is going to run Apple Intelligence, and that requires 8 gigs of RAM. So you got the same internals as an iPhone 16 Pro. We're also getting, since we're getting a bigger overall device with that 6.1-inch display, we're also getting a big improvement in battery life. Now we finally get all-day battery life, unlike the previous model, which gave you, 2/3 of a day's battery life. So no more battery nervousness anymore. Now we can finally have a modern battery life of all-day battery life. The big change also is going to be when you charge your device, and we finally went from Lightning to USB Type-C, and it's just in time because now this is the last device that needed to be updated. Now you can charge all of your devices, your iPad, your other iPhones, your MacBook, your AirPods. They all use the same cable now, so it's a lot easier, and I think a lot of people will benefit from this. Next reason is, although we don't have Dynamic Island, now instead of unlocking your device with a Touch ID, we are getting Face ID, but with a notch. So not as nice as the Dynamic Island, but this is a huge improvement. When you compromise those bezels, you get rid of the bezels in the home button, but you replace it with Face ID. That is a very, very nice feature. I think a lot of people are going to be exposed to Face ID now, and that's a good thing because the home button was really holding back physically the iPhone SE. And last but not least, another reason why you should get the iPhone SE 4th gen in 2025, it's going to be a very simple but very important reason, and that's going to be price-wise. You can get this device in the ballpark of $500. That's what is Apple is going to sell this device at, $500. It is a little bit more expensive than the previous models that were in the $400 range, but for all the features you're getting for a new modern iPhone SE, $500 is going to be a very good deal, especially since it has the internals of an iPhone 16 Pro. And that's if you get it unlocked straight from Apple. Now you can get an even bigger savings that's even more impressive on this device if you were to get this device on prepaid from Metro or the other prepaid carriers, because they usually heavily discount the budget iPhone SE models, and somewhere in the range of, at least they're selling them at least half price or below $100, or sometimes even free. And that is the same case with if you're with a national carrier with contracts like AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile. They usually give these out for free as well, even without a trade-in. So price-wise, this is a big reason why a lot of people will flock to this device. This is a very important device for Apple in 2025. iPhone sales are down overall, especially in China. And since now every device has Apple Intelligence in its lineup, this will, I think, will soar iPhone sales through the roof, because Apple still heavily relies on iPhone sales for its overall revenue. The iPhone still brings in around 40% of its revenue for Apple. So anytime a budget device is introduced, that usually translates to a lot of sales because a lot of people feel that the iPhone is very expensive, especially compared to Android phones. So this is a device that is sorely needed for Apple to boost iPhone sales and introduce the world into emerging markets that are used to cheaper phones to get into Apple Intelligence, and that's going to keep people into the ecosystem and push other services and other products from Apple into the vast majority of people that are budget minded but still want a really good device. So that's been my list and reasons why the iPhone SE 2025 version, the 4th edition, is a really good phone to buy from Apple.